That was from Schlack when it was me, him, G Raver, and Matt Tremont in a four-way, and I took an Alabama Slam on a shopping cart, and that shopping cart went 4 inches into my lower back.
Oh,
And that 4 inches of metal was a quarter inch away from poking through my kidneys and then completely severing my colon.
Jesus. Fuck, that's crazy. Like that first photo looks like a gunshot. That's nuts.
Yeah, it got stuck. Like it was, I had to take my fingers and actually go in my back and kind of like hook it and dig it out. It was one of the grossest things I ever had to do.
That's nuts. And like, how long did it take for you to recover from that? Because that looks fucking like that looks horrendous, man.
I think it was what 20 something days afterwards. I went to Japan.
Jeez. And like, were you like fully healed at that, or were you still fucked up?
Like all the swelling and bruising went down, and like the stitches pretty much kind of closed.
Yeah,
That was I was worried about them busting it open, but everything was fine.
that's nuts. But like, dude, 20 days after the fact, like that looks like you 6 months on the shelf, dude. Like, were
Oh,
doctors telling you?
uh, let's see. The whole experience is weird. Like I've explained this a few times, but I'll just kind of give you like a smaller version. Basically, I was treated like shit the whole time. Like there were armed guards that walked by the room. Like it was really weird. Uh, there was a point where they told me to completely strip down. I'm just on the bed, and I was like, "I have a blanket," and they just threw the blanket at me. And I was like, "Okay, this is how this is gonna go." I had to get like a multitude of scans, tests, other stuff. And what was really weird, usually they'll just like numb the area up to sew you up, but
Yeah.
instead they gave me an IV of liquid Xanax and knocked me out. So like they were like, we're gonna give you some Xanax, and I was like, why? And they're like, we're gonna sew you up, and I had no idea. Like I had passed out for 40 something minutes. I think they said I had no idea.
Fuck.
Uh, they tried to keep me overnight. Well, first they were going to discharge me. And then I'm getting dressed. I'm getting ready to come back in the room. They're like, sorry, the doctor wants you to stay. And I was like, no, I got to go. So I had to medically discharge myself. And like the whole time there, they wouldn't give me any ibuprofen, aspirin, nothing. Like I couldn't get anything to fucking alleviate any bit of pain. So the ride home was spent just like every hour, just like mouthing ibuprofen and Tylenol and just trying to numb that area up after. I think they put 4 stitches in it.
Yeah.
I think I sent you the one with the stitches in it,
Yeah, yeah, you did. Yeah.
but they had to keep it open because of my previous history of MRSA. Because if that get infected, it needed to be able to drain.
Jesus, that's crazy. Like, to discharge yourself, was it just because you were like, this hospital sucks, I'm not getting the treatment? And
And I was with somebody that lived in Pennsylvania, and the other one lived in Chicago, so they kind of had to get home. So I was like, I gotta go.
yeah, right. But what, like, is hospital care, like, is that like a standard thing? Like, that sort of treatment? Like, was it, do you think is like, oh,
No,
this is a self inflicted thing? It's like not as important. Like, what was the whole thing
it's New Jersey. Fucking New Jersey sucks.
there?
uh, But back home, I guess I'm a local celebrity at the ER because every time I go in, they ask me what happened. They want to see videos, they want to see photos. Like they're more interested because they just love. I don't know what it is. Maybe because they just want to cut shit out of me. I had a doctor once. I went in. And I was like, I think I have glass in my low back, and then he's poking at me. He's like, here. I go, no, here. I was like, no. He goes, here. I go, yep. He goes, okay, I'll be right back. Comes back with numbing material and a scalpel and is just digging in my low back. No x-rays, no scans, no ultrasounds, no nothing. This man just came in to work and was just bored and was like, fuck it, I'll cut this kid's back up. Just was rooting around. And there was that point where I'm just sitting there and I hear like this creak, 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 like this squishing sound. I was like, is that you? And he goes, mm-hmm.
Oh, dude. That's fucking crazy. Yeah, and then you find out that he's not a doctor; he's just the guy that cleans. He's like, I'll give it a fucking crack. But I always wonder, like how weird the conversations would be for pro wrestlers that go into like the ER as like, and then the doctor comes in saying, so you said Super Destroyer came and hit you with a Canadian destroyer? Like,
Yeah.
did were the police called? And what is a Canadian destroyer? Is that a drug?
I think the only time I've ever been severely yelled at is with the first injury when I drove home and the nurse ripped me a new one on why I waited so long. And it's like I should have went to the ER there. She was not thrilled with me. Uh, every time after that, like they know as soon as I come in, they're like, "All right, what did you do? Like, where is it?" Like,
You're like, but that's the thing. It sounds like that's the old game Operation. I don't know if you had in the States back in the day where
yeah,
you have to take So it's like you're the human form of Operation for these guys by the sound of it.
they have to have a slow day. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, they're like, here comes Eric. Let's go.
like I think we've had people like the appointment's going on, and other people open the curtain and be like, "Oh, I heard the wrestlers here." Like they're peeking their.
But I suppose as well, like obviously for your hospital, but like it's a bit different. They know you on a first name basis, but I think for a lot of hospital staff, it would be like different. It'd be like the interesting thing coming in. Oh, it's a professional wrestler. It got here that blah blah blah. Oh, they got barbed wire and glass stuck in them. What sort of
Well,
wrestling?
when I go in, I'm not expecting to be treated like a king, but like, don't
No,
treat me like a piece of shit. Like, I'm so well aware that I've done this all to myself. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, I
it's
be reminded.
but as far as it goes for you for like longevity, do you see yourself doing deathmatch for a long time? Like, have you thought like, okay, like we see some guys have gone, okay, like even Ricky, I think he has tried to step